12:30. I will call the Transportation Committee of December 17th to order. Roll call, please.
Here.
Here. Here.
Here.
Here. Here.
Here. Here.
Here. We do have a quorum. What is your pleasure on the minutes of November 19th?
So move.
Support.
Is there any discussion on the motion? Roll call, please. Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed? The motion is carried. Thank you. We'll move on to informational items. What is your pleasure?
Move to be placed on file.
Support.
Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed? The motion is carried. We'll move on to public comment on an agenda item. Is there anyone who wishes to be heard? Seeing none, we'll move on. We'll move on to items for consideration. What is your pleasure on TR 191230?
So move.
Support.
Is there any discussion on the motion?
No, I didn't, I wasn't in on this, but the bid from Northside, I understand it's a low bid and sure they can do it, but there's hardly any detail in the bid where the other bids had, like, I don't know what brand it is. I don't know. They were talking about different numbers of stages. I don't know about boilers.
Okay.
Mr. Lukens?
Yes, Bob Lukens, Community Development Director. This is a bid for the replacement of a boiler, and you're correct, Commissioner. There are not any real details on the actual equipment that's being used, but in discussions with the airport operations supervisor, it was determined that they would use materials that would be up to standards.
Well, the difference between their bid and say the one from Hearst Mechanical, and both I'm sure are qualified to do it, is $200 on a fairly expensive thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like if I was bidding on a $32,000 boiler replacement, they don't say anything about getting rid of the old boiler, or they don't. There's a lot of things they didn't say. I don't know. Am I wrong?
Nope, you're right.
I also have a question on that too, Bob. Is there anybody who's in this facility, in this hangar?
Oh, this is one of Executive Air's hangars that they lease from us. Or, I'm sorry, Vision Air's hangar.
Okay, so we're supposed to supply the heat. So
This is
our
part
cost.
of the lease. Yes, this is included in the lease.
The other bids all had serious detail with them.
Mm-hmm. I think, Commissioner, Northside has done contracted work out at the airport in the past, and it may not have necessarily been included in this. There could have been some other support documents with it. I'm not familiar with that at this point.
When is the next full board meeting?
Thursday.
Is this already been done?
It's in the process of being done now. It was an emergency.
You might not.
I didn't know that.
It was an emergency.
It wasn't a long-term event.
Because it says because of the weather, it was
Yes, it was an emergency request.
urgency.
Ask them to furnish details.
I certainly can.
And all three of these companies are qualified to do this work, I know, but.
Are there any further questions?
Yes, I have one. So Bob, when you do work at the airport, do you typically have a bid package with specifications of equipment? Are they just bidding your specifications, or do they get to choose what products they want to put in?
Oftentimes, it's kind of a combination of both. Comparable products can be used in the specifications that are outlined in the proposals or quotes.
So I'm just wondering if you have any standardization out at the airport, if you use a standard product, or is it just kind of each building has different equipment, different air handlers, different heating? Every building is different out there.
I think a lot of the boilers are similar. I'm not sure if they're the exact same type of equipment for each hangar. I'd have to look into that.
Commissioner Nash.
Did any of the bidders inspect the old boilers?
Yes, they have all been
All
inspected.
did. Okay.
You know, if I
The equipment's old.
Commissioner
Madam
Stone.
Chair, if I could just, none of them like, I'm not trying to make a mountain out of this thing, I'm just curious
Mhm.
though. Boilers are rated by something, BTUs?
Mhm.
I don't know.
BTUs.
And nobody, like, I don't know how big the old boiler was, and maybe this is way more efficient, probably is.
Mhm.
Nobody specified the size of the boiler.
Right.
Oh, wait a minute, here's one. It says 399 MBH. I don't know what that means. 95% efficient fire tube stainless boiler. I don't know. That's good information. I'd kind of like to know that. They can furnish that.
Sure.
Yeah.
We can get that information for you.
Are there further questions? All in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed? The motion is carried. We'll move on to TR 19-1231. Authorize the sale of the airport de-icing truck.
So moved.
Support.
Is there any discussion on the motion?
So do we have another de-icing truck, or
No, this is the same one. We're bringing it back.
you're bringing it back?
Are we?
from- it
No,
says
we're
you're
not bringing it back to the
selling
plant.
it.
I'm sorry. We discussed this at a previous meeting.
Okay.
Yes, this is the airport's de-icing truck. The airport owns it, and it is not used by airport staff. It has been used in the past years ago to de-ice planes, but we do not use it currently. It's been used because it's a high lift. It's been used to do things like change bulbs and that sort of thing. And on occasion, it will be used by the airline, but they do have their own de-icing truck too. The airline does. So this would be a sale to Vision Air of the truck that the county currently owns. It was estimated at $22,000. After some negotiation, we were able to get it to $20,000.
So the airport doesn't need a de-icing truck?
We do not. The airline has its own de-icing truck.
Commissioner Skolnick?
I'm going to drive Bob crazy. Did they ever de-ice small aircraft?
They do, and that's what Vision Air is going to use it for. The jets that are on the field and that are stored, private jets, yes, that are stored at the airport in the hangars there. They have to be de-iced when they fly in the winter.
Are there further questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed? The motion is carried. We'll move on to TR 19-1232 to authorize the chair to execute a contract with CNS companies.
So move.
Support.
Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying yes.
Yes.
All opposed? Then the motion is carried. Is there any old business? Any new business? Any public comment? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We are adjourned. Susan.